See today, then we play all through the late night. See today, then we play all through the late night. What is up, everybody? I'm back. Scotty's here, and we are talking about. We're on another podcast. I'm sorry, I'm fucking up. We're on another podcast, another weekly podcast. We're here at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Cherry Hill. I'm your host, along with Scott Bolden. What's up, Scotty?
Yo, what's going on, Nitro Freak? Kyle, I'm doing pretty good today. It's another good show in here tonight.
Yeah, I feel you, dog. I was up late last night, up to like 5:50 in the morning. I know random as fuck, but I was at Parks Casino for like 5 hours. I won $750, so I felt pretty good, but I feel like shit right now. I know we're going to the Sixers game later, so that'll raise my spirits up. How about you? How'd you do?
I had a pretty good night, just chill with my boy, pretty low-key. Just been like laying low lately pretty much. My birthday soon, though, March 17th, I'll finally be 21, so I'll finally be able to go out again, have some fun. But I'm excited for tonight, too. We'll get pretty drunk and see the Sixers they should pick up an easy win.
Yeah, I saw the line on the game. It's a 10-point spread. So, I mean, it should be a pretty easy victory, but who knows? I've seen basketball games where you think you're going to win and then you don't win. So, whatever. It is what it is. But the topic of today's show is, are Philly fans in general loyal? And what I mean by that is, are most of the Philly fans in it for the long run, like the thick and thin? Like, for an example, we just talked about the Sixers. The fans that were there for the process and are there now, those are loyal fans. But how many of our fans today actually were there the whole time? I'm going to answer that real quick. I'm going to say about 20%. And that might piss off some people, but I'm just being honest when I say this. Philly fans have a bad rep of being violent fans, angry fans. They say nasty things. That's half true. When it comes to all that, what I just said, that's only when we're in a winning position. When we're losing, our fans don't do anything to you. We are the nicest fans in America when we're not winning. But when we're winning, you saw in the NFC title game, people were throwing bottles at people. People were talking shit to people. Granted, they were high schoolers, but still, it's like a winning culture brings negative fans. Well, negative attitude fans. And then a losing culture brings like grandpas who don't give a fuck about anything and just watch it because they don't want to take a daytime nap. So what's your thoughts on that?
I pretty much agree with almost everything you said. I think us winning the Super Bowl, that brings all types of new fans. It brings, bandwagon fans. It brings, good fans, bad fans, young, old, whatever. You could be 50 years old and jump on a new team. Like, there's casual fans out there that are like that. They wear like a Yankees hat just because they think it's cool or whatever. So I'm sure like they'll be buying Eagles shit just because we won. Some people just keep up with the times and they just do what's in. Like, they do what's cool, That's pretty much my opinion on it. Are we loyal fans? I'd say 100%. Probably the most loyal fans in the country. That's just my opinion.
Are you saying every sport, or are you just saying football?
I'd say almost every sport, especially when the teams are good. Like, I will say, like, I am a casual fan of the other teams. Like, I'm a casual Sixers fan. The only diehard team that I follow is the Eagles. Mm-hmm. But like, I caught up with I stayed caught up with the process, but I didn't. Obviously, you can't watch every basketball game. There's just no way. There's no possible way to watch every basketball game, every hockey game, and every baseball game. I say this almost every week. There's only 16 regular season NFL games for your team, so it's a lot easier to keep up with that if if you got a job going on, school, whatever. So it's easier to follow the team, in my opinion. And it's easier to keep up with the team. Therefore, you're going to be more loyal.
Right. I agree with everything you just said. I'll give you an example. Eagles fan for life 17, Rob. He's a friend of ours. He watched the process thick and thin. He watched almost every single game. I don't know how you do that, honestly, because that team was dreadful to watch. Yeah. But that's an example of a loyal fan. Is every fan in this area like Rob? No way. There's no possible way. There's a fan out there in Philadelphia that watches a sucky Phillies team, a sucky Sixers team. You're going to watch the Eagles no matter what because there's only 16 games out of the year. But when hockey's bad, baseball's bad, and basketball's bad, there is no way in fuck all of our fans in the tri-state area are loyal. There's no way. It's impossible. And I just don't understand, like, people coming on Twitter and saying, yeah, we're the most loyal fans. We rep our teams no matter what. No, we don't. And I'm being completely honest with you. It might piss people off, but we really don't. And I can understand where the bad rep comes from, because our attitude during the NFC Championship game, we should be definitely ashamed of ourselves. Like, that was brutal, man. I was watching some of the clips on Twitter, and some of the shit that was going on, like the guy eating dog shit, and like people climb up poles, whatever, that happens. But like, people killing innocent plants, man. Like, I mean, like come on. I
never
don't know.
get those plants back.
Nah, man. And, you know, what the hell do the plants do? All they do is they just sit there. They breathe. They drink water when it rains. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. And these fucking assholes are kicking them over and, like, treating them like shit. But it is what it is. Whatever.
Like I said, like that, I feel like, I mean, it's not an excuse, but that was, 50-something years of build-up. Not frustration. It was like a celebration, destroying shit, which is kind of fucked up. It's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. Would that happen in other cities, though? That's my question to you. Something like that. I'm trying to think of another city that would happen in. I really can't think of one.
That will happen in almost every single city. The only problem is how many.
Like the way we destroyed shit.
Yeah, because they said in Boston it was actually worse.
I could see Boston.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. Like I just said, like the Philadelphia Eagles, granted, they just won the first Super Bowl. Like, I still can't believe it. Like, it was weird. The feeling that night was weird, because even though we were celebrating them winning the title, none of us really, really thought we won. Like, if you're a real fan of the team, you're like, oh shit, what are we celebrating for? We were all on cloud nine. We had no idea what was going on. We were like blind to the fact that they won. And we didn't even – it was weird. I still don't get it. I don't know.
All of us are, like, I'm still on cloud nine, honestly. When people, like, talk to me about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, we did win. Like, it's almost like it's just like talking to, like, random people about it. It still doesn't feel real to me at times. That's just me. I know you're ready. I know you're ready for championship 2, 3, and 4, but
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, back to back, motherfuckers. It is what it is. I mean, we've been taking criticism every single year. You know, I've been a fan of this team since 2001. Realistically, that was like 9 years old, and every single year we disappoint. And then all of a sudden, these fans from the other fan bases would come at us and say, hey, win a Super Bowl. You guys never won a Super Bowl. You're the only team in the division without a Super Bowl. This fat, disgusting Rams chick in Hooters eating her wings like a fucking pig was sitting there. The Rams were getting their asses kicked 42-0. I remember it was 2011. They're getting their asses kicked 42-0. He was like, oh, it doesn't matter because the Eagles will never win a Super Bowl. They've never won a Super Bowl. I wanted to shove a fucking wing so far down her throat and make her turn her into a fucking puppet. Like, usually I don't know. It just pisses me off when people bring that shit up. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like any fan base thought they could talk shit if they had a ring to us. Doesn't matter if they were the fucking Chiefs, the Rams, someone in our division. Even if they won that shit back in the 60s, they won it like, 7 years after we won it? Just because it was called the Super Bowl, they thought they could talk shit. So,
yeah, I mean, we have a Super Bowl now. So, I mean, this is what's going to happen. You and I both know this. We got a Super Bowl. Next year, they're going to name it something completely different. So, I mean, we finally won one. Now we're going to have to win a new title.
Yeah, they're going to screw us again. What's going to be called? It's going to be called the World. It should be called the World Championship now, or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be called the Bowl of Champions,
or the World Bowl, or something like that.
Yeah, fuck them. I don't know. I don't see us going downhill anytime soon. I really don't, and it's been weird because I know Carson Wentz's knee is like never going to be the same. I predicted this. I called this, and he's going to have to wear a knee brace, which is why we need a backup. And let me ask you your opinion on this. Carson Wentz isn't going to be ready for week 1. There's no way. I'm sorry, he's just not going to be ready for week 1. I'm going to say Carson Wentz will be ready by – no, he won't be. I'm going to say he'll be ready by week 6 or week 7 of this year. Let me ask you a question. If Nick Foles starts the season, if we keep him, 5-1 or 6-0, do you make a switch?
I think you have to play Wentz. I really do. Unless like you gave up so much for Wentz in the draft. He's what 23, 24 years old. Number 2 overall pick, had an MVP type season this season. I think, there's got to be, like we're talking about loyalty and fans, the teams have to show loyalty to their players,
Right.
And I love Nick Foles now. I wasn't the biggest Nick Foles fan, but I've been seeing in the media, people are like, Doug Peterson came out this week on the Rich Eisen show and said, Wentz could have done everything that Foles did. This whole, win the Super Bowl, get us there, be the Super Bowl MVP. And I really think you got to give Foles the respect he deserves. Like, I'm not going to just make that statement that Wentz could have did all that. Can he? Yes. But I'm not going to say, it's with 100% without a doubt Wentz would have did everything. Because Foles, those 2 games, he played like the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
He played like Tom Brady. He played like Joe Montana,
Right.
It doesn't get any better than the way Foles played. And I still hear people like, I don't know if you listen to John McMullen. You ever hear of him on YouTube? He was saying something the other day like, Foles isn't even as talented as Jay Cutler on a talent level. And I just laugh at that. Like, I used to, fuck with Foles and make jokes about him, but, he shut me up the way he played. Like, I really respect Foles now. And if you don't get, a first or second round pick for Foles, I think, you keep him.
Definitely. I agree with everything you just said. And it's funny because people want to bring up on Twitter because there's so many Wentz fanboys. I understand Wentz is very liked in this town. He's a very nice guy. He played out of his mind before he got injured. But there's so many fanboys on Twitter saying if Wentz was in there, he would have done the same exact thing as Nick Foles. Would he have? Like, really, would he have? It's
hard to do what Foles did,
Yeah, I've never seen a quarterback in general, not even Philly. I've never seen a quarterback play the way Nick Foles did in a playoff situation in my lifetime. Like, the Minnesota Vikings were coming in as a 3.5 point favorite. Everyone thought it was going to be a close game. Dude, it wasn't even close. Like, I was sitting here watching this game. I was with my friend Zomp, and I was with his friend Chris, and we were sitting almost at the 50-yard line. And every single pass Nick Foles made, it was on Tom Brady's level. It was ridiculous. Like, he didn't make one bad throw that whole game. And the week before that, when he first Atlanta, he looked really mediocre until the second half, and then he caught fire. I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. I have no clue.
It definitely is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get how people could show Foles any disrespect. They think he just like got hot. I mean, yeah, you could say he got hot at the right time, but he played his best in the 2 most important games of his career, of the season. So, like, I don't know what's up for debate. I don't get the hate still. Like, you got to be real with yourself. The man just won the Super Bowl. Like, that's the ultimate goal. What else does he have to do? Win another one? Like,
he won the most prized possession, which we were desperately in need for.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers only won 1 Super Bowl, and so is Nick Foles. I mean, look at what's that say?
It's crazy because now people are like, if Aaron Rodgers played, you guys wouldn't have beat him, which is probably true. I'm not going to lie to you because
Aaron Rodgers owns us. He owns us.
We always had problems with Aaron Rodgers. We've always had problems with Russell Wilson. We lost to Russell Wilson in the beginning, middle of the year, and it was not even a close game. And that's when Wentz was playing. When it comes to mobile quarterbacks, we have trouble with them, and we avoided them in the postseason, but we still played good teams. So I'm happy with the Super Bowl. I really am. I just wish that our fans would wake up and realize what's going on because I'm not going to lie to you, bro. We have some issues on our team. We really do. And if we want to go back to back.
I think our biggest issue is what we're -9 in cap room.
Yeah.
And I was listening to, again, I'll give a shout out to John McMullen. We're going to have to cut some players before we make any types of moves. We're going to have to trade or cut people,
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And this is crazy because so many players on this team, not only the players, the coaches contributed. When you win a championship, your team gets it torn up completely. Like, you're not the same. This is why teams do not go back-to-back because everything that meshed together the coaching staff, special teams, players, the owner, everyone. If you have a good year, and this is why it was so crucial for us to win the Super Bowl this year, if you have a good year, it's going to get torn apart, like completely. Look at Minnesota. Pat Shurmur coached them into the playoffs as an offensive coordinator. He has the fucking New York Giants job now. Like, Pat Shurmur's not that good. We know that. And it's just crazy. Like, these coaches just get torn from these teams and destroy them. But I guess that's just the business, man.
Yeah, well, we lost Frank Reich to the Colts. He's our new head coach. John DeFilippo is the Vikings offensive coordinator. Doesn't look like Trey Burton's going to come back. They're going to let him test free agency. And then,
which is a bad move.
It is what it is. I mean, you paid Ertz a lot of money. He's your starter. What can you really – you don't have any money to pay Burton unless Selleck retires. But Selleck is honestly pretty young. He's only 32. I mean, tight ends usually play to like 36, 37. Right. Like, you look at like Jason Witten. And I think Antonio Gates, did he retire this year or is he still come back for another year maybe?
I don't know. I haven't heard of Antonio Gates in a long time. Did he even play this year?
He did play this year. I don't know if he's playing next year. But people that you got to look out for is who could be cut or traded. Vinny Curry, getting paid a lot of money. Right. Michael Kendricks, another one he only plays, 30% of the time because we play in dime most of the time. We only play 2 linebackers. So there's definitely good – those are good players. We really don't want to lose them, but we're -9 in cap space. So unless we restructure a ton of deals – but we can't even sign our draft picks right now. So Howie's definitely going to finagle with the cap. But, somebody that is not going to be here next year that we want to be here. That's just the reality of it.
Maybe more than one. And this is why I said we should draft another D tackle in the first round because, like you just said, Vinny Curry, he needs to get paid.
Yeah. Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
You said teams never win back-to-back. The way you win back-to-back is you have to be good at drafting. Because you have all the rookie contracts, they work under the cap. If you don't draft well when you have a good team, I mean, you can look at the Broncos. How many busts did they have a quarterback after they won their Super Bowl? The Seahawks, they really have not drafted too well since they won their Super Bowl. Right. That's why both those teams missed the playoffs last year. You have to draft well after you win to get the cheap contracts. Because if you're winning the Super Bowl, I mean, most likely you're at the top of top of your cap space.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that because I was looking back at a coach like Bill Belichick, and everyone thinks he's the GOAT or whatever. I didn't know this. The guy was the Cleveland Browns head coach for 5 years. I didn't know that. From 91 to 95, he was their head coach, and he won 1 playoff game. And then all of a sudden he goes to New England, and everything just goes into place for him, and he can't lose. That's more than just coaching. That has to be Tom Brady. Because when Tom Brady leaves, and this is why Bill Belichick was so pissed off when they got rid of Garoppolo, because now they don't have anyone after Tom Brady. When Tom Brady leaves, who says that Bill Belichick is going to be the same exact coach? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's a coaching carousel. And when you have everything put into place, you have a good head coach, maybe the other coaches don't matter. This is the prime example when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Our coaching staff is getting completely gutted. But if Doug Peterson is the coach that everyone's saying he is, elite, maybe it doesn't even matter. Who knows?
You'll have to find out. I mean, Belichick did win games with Matt Castle and Jimmy Garoppolo when Brady was suspended or hurt. But, Ian, time will tell, man. I mean, we think it's all Doug Peterson. We don't know. Obviously, we know that, Frank Reich and John DeFilippo were a big part of the offense and a big part of the game plan too. But, you still have Wentz and you still have Peterson, and those we think are the 2 main pieces, head coach and quarterback. So,
I don't know, man. And Eagles fan for life 17 just said in the chat, he said Bradham is probably going to go and draft a linebacker. I would not let Bradham go. Personally, I wouldn't.
There's a lot of decisions, man. And someone else said Torrey Smith, that's a good one to cut. He'll be out of here probably almost 100%. And
it's crazy because the guy was a fucking scrub, but he showed up when it mattered. So, I mean, it's tough.
It's weird, man. Like, they want to get rid of Foles. They want to get rid of Smith, and those are the people that won you the Super Bowl, in the actual game. So
It really depends on what we would get for Nick Foles. If someone gave up like a first rounder and a second rounder, I'd be like, all right, I love you, Foles, but that's value right there. Would I rely on Sudfeld? I don't know much about Sudfeld, to be honest with you. I saw him in the last Cowboys game, which meant absolutely nothing, but I don't know much about the guy to give him the keys for the first 6 weeks of the year. Like,
you really think Wentz is going to miss that many games?
I do. He tore his MCL and ACL, and there's usually 10 to 12 month recoveries, especially when you tear both of them. I think he's going to miss a while, yeah. I think he's going to be out.
Honestly, I think he'll be ready week 1, but if he does miss some games, I think he'll miss like 3 or 4 games. I wouldn't go up to 6. 6 just seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want him to recover. I don't want him to rush it. I don't want the coaching staff to rush it. I just want him to recover and be the QB that he started being this year, And I don't know, man. I want this franchise to be successful, more successful than the Patriots. That's what I want.
I mean, expectations are obviously higher now. Like, we expect to win the division, number 1. And I guess we expect to get back to the Super Bowl. And you want us to win it again, right?
Oh, yeah. I think we can win it. I think we'll definitely get back at least.
Definitely have the talent to do it. You're just going to have to draft well. That's the main number 1 thing, because you are going to lose. You're going to lose pieces. You're going to lose players. You have to replace them with draft picks. It's going to be hard to do it in free agency again, just because we don't have that much cap space. So,
well, yeah, the problem is our division is going to be a lot better next year, and I'm saying that convincingly. What I think the New York Giants are going to do, they're going to go and get Saquon Barkley at number 2, which is a phenomenal pick. If they don't pick him, they're fucked, because Saquon Barkley can pass block. He could run out like a wide receiver, and he could run the football like a beast. He's 2 times better than Ezekiel Elliott. And if they go and get him, their offense is probably the scariest in the league if they upgrade at a lineman position in the draft. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Like I said, if Odell can stay healthy, that's deadly. Odell and Saquon Barkley. I mean, who do you defend? You mean if you stack the box, you can just throw it right to Odell. But they still need a quarterback, so I wouldn't be too worried about the Giants.
Yeah, but at that point, would they need a quarterback? Like, all you have to do is hand it off to Saquon Barkley and then throw slants to Shepard, Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall, their tight end who's going to be a fucking beast, Ingram. They're going to have a good team next year, man. Their defense ain't that great, but I thought the year before their defense was kick-ass. So if their defense was a shell of what it was the year before this year and their offense is better, dude, they're going to be competing with us, which sucks because I hate the fucking Giants. But this hypes up the rivalry a little bit more if they're good. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see them being better. I mean, they can't be much worse. Still got O-line problems, but like you said, a running back can, it can fix a lot of things. It can hide shit,
Exactly.
So
and I didn't think our offensive line was that good this year. I really didn't. In the playoffs, they definitely stepped up, but depth-wise, the whole year, we were just blind by the fact that everything was just going our way. Our offensive line really stepped up this year. Is it great on paper? No. But everyone just played like a band of brothers. It was
not great.
Year.
It's not great, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Kelce might be the biggest mystery. Like, he plays like the best center one year.
And then it's shit like that.
And he's average to shit the next year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. That's what I'm saying. In the NFL, it changes from year to year. Like, next year, the fucking Cincinnati Bengals go in the Super Bowl and no one would see it coming. It's weird. It's crazy. I mean, I didn't see us win the Super Bowl this year. I had us at 11-5 and a first-round playoff exit in July. That's what I had us at. And we won.
Last thing I'm going to say about, like, the, cap situation and free agency, I'm like, don't be surprised if somebody that you want is not here because, we have to pay in 2 years. We got to pay Carson Wentz, maybe $150 million.
Yep.
We have to pay Jay Ajayi. We got to figure out what we're doing with him. He's got to get paid soon. So that Carson Wentz deal is enough. I mean, you're going to have some holes on your roster that you're going to have to fill with draft picks. They're not going to be the best players. You got to figure out where they're going to be. If it's like a guard on the O-line, if it's a safety, if it's a corner, but, if Wentz balls out again and he makes Super Bowl, I mean, he is going to be the highest paid player of all time. Even if he doesn't do that, I mean, look at Jimmy Garoppolo, who played 7 games and just got the biggest contract. Imagine someone that won the Super Bowl and actually did it, how much they're going to get paid, you know?
No, I agree with you 100%. You know, it's crazy because I just saw something in the chat saying one person commented in the chat, kind of scrolled up, I don't know who it was, but they said we may not be able to sign someone like Bradham even if we wanted to. That's how fucked up our cap is.
It's not really fucked up. We just have a lot of good players. You know, it's impossible. This isn't the NBA where there's no cap room. You know, there's no cap.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Especially when Super Bowl, everybody wants your players. I mean, we took LeGarrette Blount and Chris Long from the Patriots, and you could they have had a big influence in the locker room too.
Yeah.
Change our team around. So.
And you know me, I didn't like LeGarrette Blount, and he really showed up when we needed him to. So re-signing him, I'd be for it because he's a winner. He has 3 rings now, but he's going to go test his skills somewhere else. I think he's going to go back to New England personally, but that's just
Definitely could.
Yeah. They don't have a running game up there. They have Deion Lewis. He ain't that good. He just looks good because he's in a shitty system. Well, a good system.
Want to go over some of these comments in the chat?
Yeah. Read me one.
All right. Eagles fan for life 17. Wentz over Foles.
Wentz over Foles. I mean, debatable.
Eagles fan for life. They're playing Wentz. Doug has gone out and said that they would still have won Super Bowl with Wentz too. That's what we said earlier.
Yeah. No, Wentz is a better player than Foles. I like Foles more than Wentz, but Wentz is the better talent. So that's where I stand on that.
I would agree with that too. I mean, I wouldn't say I like Foles better, but I definitely respect them. They're probably like the same level for me, honestly.
That's just like, you know, the thing with Nick Foles is no one will really understand other than Eagles fans that stuck with the guy like the last 5 years. It's just crazy, like the up and downs of emotions that the guy got traded. Fucking Sam Bradford. The guy got traded for Sam Bradford. And, you know, he comes back. Howie Roseman brings him back because he knows he has a bag of tricks up his sleeves because no one has a 27-2 season in 8 games like Nick Foles did. Nobody does that. And people said this guy sucked. This guy didn't have it. He backpedals too much. He looks like a fucking giraffe. People said this all fucking year. And I'm like, watch. This dude is going to perform. He's going to come alive at the right time. And he's going to – I didn't say win us a Super Bowl. I said he would be the MVP of Super Bowl 52 in one of my tweets. And it happened.
Insane.
The guy came alive at the right time. And that's all you need.
He definitely did, man. I mean, it still doesn't feel real that he actually did that, you know? It's not like he leaned on the defense the running game definitely showed up in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But you know, he just made every throw. You know, there wasn't even like one play or one drive where you were like, "Oh, I wish he could have did this." I mean, he pretty much did everything. You know? He really didn't make a mistake. The one interception that he threw in the beginning of the game, but I mean everything. It was a perfect game by Foles. So that's why I don't understand the hate. I don't understand the disrespect from like the national media still, or like even people around here that are like, you know, Wentz is 100% better, which I think Wentz is better, but it's not that cut and dry. Like you said, like if Wentz is hurt or he has long-term injury effects, like we got some guy that just fucking played out of his mind. He played the best that we could ever fucking imagine, you know? So
exactly. And you know, that's what you need. And the reason I'll be honest with you, Carson Wentz is a great talent, probably top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. All right. The thing about Nick Foles that I like over Carson Wentz is I know he's a winner. All right. And when you have a winner on the team that it just nothing could go wrong for him, I'd rather have that any day over a guy with pure talent. And I'm just being honest with you. Like, I know it's not going to happen, but if someone could win me multiple Super Bowls being an above average QB, but they're a winner, I'd take that any day of the fucking week.
I mean, look at Brady. Obviously, he's, you know, probably the best of all time, but is he the most talented? No. He just wins. You know, like winning beats talent, and people like I don't know if they have a hard time understanding that or they don't get it because this guy can he is more accurate, he's bigger, he's faster. Like how is he not better?
Yeah.
But if he doesn't win, like look at somebody like Cam Newton. He's got every athletic gift you could ever want, and he lost in the Super Bowl. Nick Foles won. Tom Brady won. Like these people that aren't as athletic, aren't as strong, aren't as big, but they're just clutch.
And people don't understand that. Like the thing with Cam Newton is, I'll rebuttal on that. The Cam Newton situation, people say I don't like Cam Newton because he's too cocky, he's too mature. No, I don't like Cam Newton because he's a fucking loser. All right, I like it when players have fun with the game. I really do. But when you're in big games and you fumble the fucking football and you don't go after it in the biggest game of the year, that's not the kind of QB that I want on my team.
Yeah, it's like what are you playing for?
Yeah, exactly. Like you need to be all in it to win, especially if you're getting paid $1 million, and especially if you're fucking cocky like he is. Like I just don't get it. I don't get it. I never will. I never have. I never will with Cam Newton. He's saying to women that they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to routes. Like I just don't. The guy is a weird dude. He just seems like a big dummy. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah, he probably doesn't realize like what he does. You're right. He's not all there.
No, I mean, you look at his fucking outfits after the game. He's wearing a Joker costume. It's crazy. I mean, like I'm not gonna criticize that because he could wear whatever the fuck he wants. He could wear a fucking bikini for all I give a shit. But the thing is that
on the field.
Yeah, win on the fucking field. Like I mean, when we played them early in the year, we had like 11 penalties. We should have kicked the shit out of that team. Cam Newton played horrible. And, he's just not the type of QB that I would want. He's just not.
You'll take Foles, right? Foles over everybody. Foles over Brady.
You mean world champion Foles? Yep, absolutely.
Can't argue with it, man.
Nope.
Can't argue with it at all.
Yeah, my Nick Foles jersey didn't come in yet. Fucked up.
Oh, what are you getting, the Super Bowl patch?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm getting two of them. I'm getting Foles and I'm getting Jeffrey.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I actually just ordered. I didn't even get like a T-shirt yet. I don't have shit. I just want the Super Bowl sweatshirt, World Champions, a T-shirt. Probably get like a plaque, maybe something, and see what other shit I can find.
Yeah, do it, man. Definitely. It's once in a lifetime. 1960. I was a fuck. My mom's gonna be 58 this year. That's how long ago it was, and it's just
your whole life, someone's whole life, man.
Yeah,
that's why for people that are older than us that have really like lived through a ton of fucking games and a ton of years. I mean, they probably like my dad. Like he still doesn't think it's real. He still can't believe it. It's like he's on cloud 9 still.
Mm-hmm. Someone just said in the comment section, EDP's hairline just said Eagles fans are bandwagons, and I'm like, all right, whatever. If you think we're bandwagons, then that's on you. You could go like jump off a cliff or something. So I just don't understand when people say we're bandwagon fans because this is our first title ever. So it's fucking stupid, irrelevant, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's called a troll.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care what it is. It's still a person behind the keyboard like a little bitch. But whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. See what other comments we got in here. Also, I don't know if I was thinking about this earlier. If you wanted to do like someone invite someone to the hangout, like Eagles fan for life 17, or like a fan, if anybody's like not a troll out there.
I don't even know how to do that. I think it's just 2 people.
I think you can just like how you sent me the link.
Yeah.
I think you can just send it to someone else or like the Philly Knights group chat. See if anybody wants to come on, talk a little bit.
All right. This fucking chat.
What's up?
This chat, man. It's crazy.
Let's see what we got here. Mike Tomlin with the Steelers have been the most talented roster in football, and he doesn't always win.
Wait, what?
Someone said Mike Tomlin with the Steelers has the most talented roster in football and doesn't always win.
It's true. They got shitted on by Jacksonville.
I would say they had the best offense in football with the
Mm-hmm.
best running back and best wide receiver. And Big
Yeah.
Ben is obviously a great quarterback. He's getting older, but
I mean, they had the killer bees. They had Le'Veon Bell, Roethlisberger, and Brown. So yeah, right there, that's a big tandem. So if you can't win with that, it's definitely coaching.
it's got, like we said, like the Band of Brothers shit and the underdog. It's like a winning mentality, a winning culture can beat out talent. And it's like, and it doesn't really make any sense. Like there's no words or like stats to back that up. But
Right.
it just happens. It's fucking life. It's the game.
Yep. It
And
is
it's
the
like,
game.
it's like anything can happen any Sunday. Anyone can beat anybody.
It can. I agree 100%
And
with
that's what makes football great. Because if the best team always won, you'd get bored. Like the NBA almost, like the Cavs and Golden State. Like they're the best, they're the most talented. They always win.
you. Mm-hmm. I
Football,
agree.
football is different.
The fuck? I'm trying to see something here. Okay. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and invite anyone from the Philly Knights on
All right.
Facebook real quick. Yeah, I think it's just the Hangout link. If anybody in the chat knows how that works, tell me if I'm doing it right. Do I just send the Hangout link to the chat? I think they can just click on it and.
Yeah, someone just asked us Eagles' early record for 2018-2019.
I'm going to say schedule's a little bit tougher, but not really, because I think some teams will like even themselves out. Like some teams that were good this year will go down. Teams that were bad will go up. So I'm going to say like 12-4.
12-4?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go – I saw the schedule this year. I'm going to go 11-5. I think this year is where we will not get a first round bye, and I think we'll have to go on the road in the playoffs. Because I just look at our schedule and I'm like, we have to play Seattle again with Russell Wilson, and you don't know when Wentz is coming back. You don't know if we're going to trade Foles, so we'll see. It's just crazy. 11-5. That's what I got at.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I was going back and forth between 11-5 and 12-4. So, all right, I just sent the hangout. I don't know who's in here from the Philly Knights. I know Rob's in here. I think maybe Desert Eagle I saw.
Yeah, Desert was in here earlier.
I don't know if that was a troll account or not, but
it probably was.
And we'll see what the Eagles speak.
I kind of want Philly 500 to come in. Let me see if I can get him in here.
All right.
That's my dude. I don't even know how to add people, honestly.
Like I said, like like you're on your laptop and like the link on the top.
Yeah.
Just copy and paste that.
Okay.
I put it in the Facebook group chat too, so you just grab it from there.
Okay, I messaged them.
Yeah, I think he was in the chat last week when I was rewatching it, I think.
Yeah, he was. I would invite. Yeah, we'll just see what we can get on here. We'll get a special guest and see what they think.
We can't take calls anymore because that studio in our broadcasting school is always filled.
I mean, we can take calls. We just never get the time to sign it out because we're lazy. So it is what it is.
And plus, like they couldn't hear the one time, right? Remember, I think Meet the Mets called.
Yeah, I could have played that on the monitor. I just didn't feel like it, though, because Meet the Mets was like, I don't know. He was cool. I like Meet the Mets.
He is a cool dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. He just talked a lot of shit about the birds. It's whatever, though. They're cool guys.
Do you think –
I might actually – I retired from YouTube when it came to the weekly videos, but I think during Giants week – I'm going to have something special because that rivalry just got heated up. Like, who gives a fuck about the Cowboys? This is another thing that I was going to talk about. The Giants will always be the Eagles' biggest rival. Always, no matter what, in my opinion. It could be other people's opinions that the Cowboys are the biggest rival. No. The Cowboys have been irrelevant since the 90s. It is almost the 20s and the 2000s. So what's so special about the Cowboys? Like, we know their fans are annoying, but other than that, they're a very mediocre, irrelevant team. Like, I don't get why our fans go out of their way to try to disgruntle Cowboys fans. Like, I just don't understand. It's really weird.
Like I was about to say, we beat the Giants 2 more times or 3 more times. We own the all-time record.
Uh-oh.
Yo, what's going on, Rob?
What's going
on?
Eagles fan for life.
Yeah, we're Rob.
How many beers you have today, Rob?
0.
0. Shit. Oh yeah, you're working. You're on the job.
Yeah.
How's your work day going, man?
Busy because everybody's out of work trying to throw their shit away. So.
Oh, that's cool, man. All right, so what do you think about the title of the video? Are Philly fans loyal? You can answer this better than anyone else.
To be honest with you, I thought about this a little bit today. Of course, if somebody comes, I gotta shut the shit off. But look, if I'm looking at it this way, you know, the Eagle fans and even here on YouTube, look at the Cowboys last year, and you guys were on YouTube last year, so you can vouch for me here. Every fucking Eagles fan had Cowboys trolls, Cowboys typers, and fucking everybody was a Cowboys fan all of a sudden. And when they lost that playoff game the way they did against the Packers, all of a sudden there was no more fucking trolls and all their fucking videos were vanished, gone. Now, this year, when the Eagles did well and won the Super Bowl like that, I rarely saw that many, a couple, because we usually get it a couple, like 1 or 2 every year that type on people's videos. I wasn't seeing much this year at all. And I don't even think we got any new video makers either. So, like, team was fucking terrible, 4-12 and mediocre than back-to-back years. Same percentage, same fucking people here on YouTube repping, same people on social media repping. And I think even in the losing years, we've seen the same, like nothing's changing here. Like no increase, no decrease.
I like it. Yeah, I definitely like what you just said. I agree 100%. Cowboys fans are a completely different animal when it comes to Eagles fans because Cowboys fans, they always talk about the 5 rings. They don't necessarily take in mind what's going on the field at this state and time. They just always have that 5-ring argument. And that's what really pisses me off because that isn't football talk. That's just asshole talk. And, you know, that's why I don't really care about the Dallas Cowboys like the rest of our fan base does because they're not really relevant to me when it comes to football. Like, they had that 13-3 year, but they had a really easy schedule, and they relied on Zeke. And then Aaron Rodgers came into their building and completely destroyed them. So, well, didn't destroy them, but he took over. So, I mean, Dallas Cowboys are irrelevant. I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, I would definitely say the Cowboys. Only reason you can't ignore them because they're always talked about so much. So it's kind of hard not to have some opinion on them, even if you're not an NFC fan. But like Rob was saying, I think there was a couple new Eagles makers, but it's the same people here repping day in, day out, season in, season out. So I mean, yeah, we get crazy. Yeah, we fucking break shit. You know, we get drunk. We kill babies. No, we don't kill anybody. But
throw beer at players.
But like I said, it was the Super Bowl. It was once in a lifetime for us so far.
I think Rob's dead.
Yeah, I think Rob had somebody come or something.
Right here. Somebody did drive by though, so that's why I put the phone down. But it's cool.
What is that? Security booth?
No, it's people need something. I have to be there to attend to. So
that's cool.
So, but like I said, no one can talk shit on us in the division for a long time.
No, and they still will though.
They'll still try. Right now. Nobody has a right to talk shit about the Eagles. Nobody. We just won the fucking Super Bowl. And like I said, I was telling Kyle, I don't even remember when I was telling you this, but I definitely told Kyle this. I'd like our situation in the long run moving forward a ton more than I like the Giants, Redskins, or Cowboys situations moving forward in the long run. We could have lost that fucking Super Bowl, and I would have loved our situation going forward more than any of those 3 teams.
Even with losing our offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and some players, we're going to lose. You know, because you still have Wentz and you still have the Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning head coach. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let me say this because I was thinking about this today with the Phillies. You know, when the Phillies attendance dropped and they had Ruben Amaro being as bad as he was, as bad as a fucking GM as he was. Look, nobody's going to want to throw money into a fucking team that does not care and is not committed to winning. If they're destroying the team and destroyed the fucking team for the amount of time that they did, nobody's going to want to fucking go to games and feed money to an organization that is not committed to winning. I'll watch that shit happen on TV and save a shitload. That's just the way it is. I mean, I'm not going to fucking give up on them, but you won't see me or anybody fucking showing up at a game of a fucking team that is, it's not that they're losing. It's that, they're putting money into an organization that is just not committed to winning.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the Phillies because sometimes I'd be bored at home watching the game. It would be like Phillies versus, I don't know, the Padres at Citizens Bank Park. If a batter hits a foul ball into the stands, it could go for a mile, and someone like 500 feet away from it can fucking run to it and get it. Like, it's just – the attendance definitely been down big time. But I think this year, like I said, I'll be the first to say it. I have the Phillies going 89-73 this year, making the wild card, getting bounced from the wild card, but they'll be showing hope.
That's a pretty big prediction. Phillies.
I'm a Phillies fan, and because I've seen them lose a lot in the last 5 to 6 years, I've become a lot more unbiased about the Phillies. But that's a stretch to think. I think they'll be a 500 team, maybe 78, in between 78 and 84 wins. I think I'm confident in that. But I'm not. I don't think they're gonna. I just don't see it. I think maybe one more year. If they're like mediocre here, give it 2019. I think they'll be good.
Well, let's do the rundown here real quick, Rob. All right, they have Nola. He's a good number 2, not an ace. Yeah. But they're going after Arrieta. I think they get him. I think they get him as number 1.
And if we get, he will be the number 1 if we get Arrieta. Yeah. And if the Phillies sign him, then I think we're a playoff contending team. Possibly the second wild card, because I did the rundown on this yesterday or a couple days ago. That second wild card spot in the National League is wide open. Mm-hmm. Get it? Because even the NL East is wide open because the Nationals seem as if they're falling apart. A lot of tension up there, down there. I'm sure they'll still be good, but there still seems as if there's some tension going on there. And then you have the Central, the Cubs will probably win it. I think the Dodgers will win the West, but then the Rockies, I'm confident, will take one of the 2 wild cards. But the second wild card is really anyone's. It's as if it's anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Can't disagree with that. What's your take, Scotty?
Like I said, I'm like a casual Phillies fan. Probably since 2012, 2013, last time I really, sat down and watched the games in depth, really had an opinion on them. Mm-hmm. I know they have what's their new manager's name? Gabe Kapler.
Gabe Kapler.
Yeah. So brand new manager. Hopefully he can bring in, a new type of culture. That's what they need. I know they have one of the best farm systems in Major League Baseball, but it's kind of like with the Eagles. It's not just about talent. You have to build that camaraderie together with your players. Yeah. So, like I said, I kind of agree with Rob, maybe a 500 type season. And I think that might even be a stretch just because they have been, I don't want to say worst of all time for the Phillies, but, it's been pretty bad, I
don't know if anyone is new to my channel or whatever, but I'm not a Phillies fan. I'm actually a New York Yankees fan, which is weird because, people bring it up. They're like, oh, it's weird. You like 3 Philly teams and 1 New York team who happens to be a very winning, successful franchise. But this year, I promise you, I will go to at least 10 Phillies games to make sure that I'm up to date with the team, and I can tell you my honest opinion on them. Because I feel like it's big to have a common knowledge on a team, especially if you're talking about them on a podcast. So I will go to Phillies games this year to give you my thoughts on them as an unbiased fan.
I went to 7 games last year because they're cheap now. It's a cheap night at the ballparks, and plus, like I said, it's a young team now, rebuilding team now. The GM, and then even Middleton, who's now a majority owner of the Phillies now. And I never liked Giles or Montgomery, even when the fucking team was winning. But I like what Middleton's doing. I like what the philosophy of the GM, and what the front office is trying to do. They're in a shitty rebuilding situation now, and because of that, I know they're trying. It's different when you're trying and not trying. And as a result, I went to 6 or 7 Phillies games last year. One of them on the road at Citi Field. So,
well, look at your hitters this year. You got Carlos Santana from the Indians. The guy's clutch. You have Rhys Hoskins going into his second year. You have Dibble Herrera. He's not that good, but I mean, he can bust some power sometimes. You have those are your three main hitters, I think. And one of them, yeah, there was another one I just can't remember. But yeah, your lineup's going to be decent this year. They might bring up Mickey Moniak. Who knows?
I like that Sixto Sanchez dude on the Phillies. When I saw him pitch at Lakewood last year, single A. Dude, single A, 18 or 19 years old, throwing 100 miles per hour. When he gets up, I like him, but I don't know when that's going to be. He'll probably start at Double A this year, and then, like I said, who knows how long before he ends up coming up. So
you got to watch out for those 100-mile-an-hour pitchers that are, especially if they're starters, because their arms will go quick. If you put them in the bullpen, then they can last a lot longer. But
he seems to go far into innings, though. But he's young, though, so it's really tough to tell at this point.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I have them as a solid team this year. I really do. I watch a lot of baseball, and I think the Phillies last year they showed promise towards the end of the year, especially with Rhys Hoskins. So, I think they'll be a good team. I really do.
You want to talk Sixers a little bit?
I do. I would love to talk Sixers. Me and Scotty and we're going to the game tonight, Sixers game, Orlando Magic. It's going to be a blowout. We all know this, but this gives us, both of us, a good idea of what the team's going to be like going into the playoffs. We have really good seats. We're in section 117, row 9. So we'll be able to have a really good point of view when it comes to the Sixers tonight. And
do you think they'll definitely be the 8th seed?
I think they'll be better. I think they'll be up to the 5th or 4th seed.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Because I know like a lot of teams have won since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. What are they, like 10-0 or something like that? Or
wait, what?
How many games have they won since the Eagles won the Super Bowl? What, like February 4th or 5th?
The only team that lost was the Flyers, and the Flyers are up 2-0 right now.
Thank you for reminding me that the Flyers are on. I got to put that shit on the radio.
Yeah, they're up 2-0.
Good.
Yeah, the Flyers are the only team that lost, and that was an overtime loss.
Yeah, but that's crazy. So I guess Embiid and Simmons, like they're both healthy, both 100% as much as they can be, right?
Ben Simmons is a monster. He just needs to work on his jump shot. And Embiid, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a ridiculous athlete. He just needs to stay healthy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it should definitely be a good time tonight. I'm sure we'll get a little bit lit, but we'll definitely we'll take some notes. We'll definitely have our opinion on the game after. Maybe we'll make like a post game video or something, some type of update.
The Flyers and Sixers, someone just wrote the stat down. The Flyers and Sixers are 14-0-1 since the Super Bowl.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Things are going up in Philly, I'm telling you, man. Like
it's about time. It's about time.
Philly sports is back.
It's about time.
It's better than ever, Rob. I haven't remembered when these teams have been so successful in such a short amount of time. I don't remember it. And it's funny because I actually have LeBron James coming here next year.
That would just be insane.
Yeah, we'd be in the finals.
That would be crazy.
Be a lot to make the finals every year.
Dude, now's the time to catch on, Scott. I'm telling you, man. Now's the time to catch on.
It's definitely possible, man.
Yep.
My God, if LeBron came here, that would be.
I'd buy season
tickets. That would be right. That would be the biggest story right after the Eagles win the Super Bowl if LeBron James played for Philly.
Well, not only that, LeBron James is my favorite player in the NBA. So us getting him would be a dream to me because you'd have Embiid, you'd have Simmons, and you'd have LeBron James, the best fucking basketball player of all time on your team.
That's like Mike.
You'd have a complete.
That's like Mike Trout.
You'd have a complete starting five with LeBron James. You'd have Embiid as your point, as your center. Saric as your power forward, small forward LeBron, Foles as your shooting guard, Ben Simmons as your point guard. That's your starting five right there.
It's so unfair.
That would be like so ridiculous.
The process.
Like 3 years ago, we were a 10-win team.
I know process would have finally paid off with that starting lineup.
Well, that's what
it was all worth it at the end of the day. I didn't agree with the way they initially went about that, but. I'll admit it was worth it at the end of the day because things are just looking so high up right now.
Well, that's what Hinkie was trying to do. He was trying to make sure we put a team around so free agents would come here. It would look appealing for free agents to come here and play here.
He wanted to make a foundation, build a foundation, a core, a nucleus, and do that through draft picks because that's the only way you're going to do something like that. Look at what the Knicks have tried to do for years and years.
Oh, God.
They try to do that with free agents. You're not going to do that with trades and free agents and giving things up. And the Brooklyn Nets tried doing it too. And look at them. You're not going to do it. The way you do it is through the draft, and you wait it out. You get a couple top picks, star players, and then that'll attract free agents and trades.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like your boy Ant, I was telling him the one day, and even Bad Dog, shout out to Bad Dog, and I was like, Nick should just fucking trade Porzingis because he's got the most value on him than anybody. Get rid of all them bad contracts, suck for 3 or 4 years, get a top pick every single year, top 3 pick every single year, and create a nucleus, a foundation to the team, and then build your team from there. And the Knicks will be fucking title contenders for the first time since Ewing or Patrick Ewing was on the squad. So it makes no sense what they're doing. I can't help but to fucking laugh. So.
Oh, it's great. I'm not complaining. I mean, I tell Ant every night how much they suck, but Phil Jackson killed that team. So I mean, whatever. And now they can't tank like us because they just changed the rules in the lottery.
Oh yeah.
We're the last team that could tank.
Yep.
Well, I don't even remember any NBA team tanking like the way we did prior to us.
Never. I don't
ever remember any NBA team doing that prior to us.
I don't think any sport. I mean, you could say the Browns, but like any sport, honestly.
Ours was so obvious.
At baseball, it's happened. Phillies similar, but not to that extent, but pretty similar.
Yeah, like players like Tony Roten, we had to sit through and watch.
I mean, that's the thing. Do you think – I mean, obviously, like the Sixers and Phillies winning will bring back, like, fans, but do you think the years, like the down years, like what effect will that have, like, on the fans coming back? Will they just come back right away when we start winning, or –
Well, I'll answer that. Scotty, I'll answer that. Our fans are so annoyed at the fact that we've been losing for years that when all the teams start winning again, they'll be crazier than ever. And that's just how it is in Philadelphia. Sometimes we have long droughts, and sometimes you don't see much success. But when you do see success, it's very bumping in the city.
I would say honestly, the Flyers probably are the team that you still go to a Flyers game every single year, multiple Flyers games, even if they're always competitive.
That's my third favorite sport behind football and fighting. The Flyers are. I go to a lot of Flyers games. I love the Flyers. I think they're gonna play the Penguins in the first round.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
They're trying to buy a Stanley Cup, so that'd be nice.
Fuck the Penguins. I hate the Pittsburgh. I really hate the Pittsburgh Penguins.
So do I, man.
What do you guys think about the Marcus Peters trade, Chiefs and Rams?
I think it was a good pickup for LA.
I think it makes sense for them because they may lose Tremaine Johnson. Their corners are kind of like up and down, and Marcus Peters is young. I'm shocked the Chiefs traded him though.
Yeah, do we know the draft picks yet that they get?
I never even heard of it. Do you know?
I didn't see what they picked up.
I don't think they announced it yet. Maybe they can't until the league year starts. When's the league? What's it like? March 14th, something like that.
Something like that. I think March 4th.
March 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely see what's going to happen with that. But, yeah, he's a Pro Bowl player. Could be an all-pro type corner. Honestly, we really need a corner now. Like, especially if we lose Patrick Robinson. Are you, comfortable with Darby and Mills?
Actually, I saw somewhere that Jones, the Jaguars nickel corner, the Eagles are interested in him. And, honestly, I love the way that Colvin dude plays. His career in the NFL hasn't panned out to the huge hype that once was because he tore his ACL in the Senior Bowl in his career, but he's turned into a really, really good nickel cornerback for the Jaguars. Yeah. And he's wanting like $4 or $5 million a year. That's not the kind of money you'd want to give for a nickel corner. So the Jags are expected to actually let him walk.
Especially playing in that defense with, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you learn a thing or two from them.
Yeah, they're probably going to let him walk. I can see that. So
Jalen Ramsey's fucking disgusting. He's the best cornerback in the league.
Actually, I'm glad the Cowboys passed up on him for Zeke.
Of course I am.
I'm so happy they did now looking at it.
Yeah,
that would have changed their team around, at least their defense.
Oh yeah, they'd be a totally different team, and I don't even really think they really needed to take Zeke
because they
had a couple running backs on the roster anyway,
and they had a good O-line. It's not like you needed the best running back in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our formula. We use 3 or 4 different guys.
Yeah.
And they're decent, but they're not like top 5 running backs.
Yeah, it's
maybe not even top 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but Sidney Jones, like you guys just said, at first I didn't like the pick, but it's looking a lot better now since we won the Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe he'll take over someone like I don't know. Like I don't want to see Patrick Robinson go. I really like Patrick Robinson, but if Sidney Jones is a better talented player, I guess you got to roll with him.
I like Sidney Jones. He's special teams in the playoffs, and he had that one game against the Cowboys Week 17. Now I think he gets a year of another offseason to get fully healthy
and the whole training camp
a little bit more. He's going to go through the full OTAs, full training camp, and the full-on off-season program healthy this time. I really like him going into the season next year as the cornerback to get moving forward.
Right.
What do you have? Do you have Darby and Jones and then Mills in the slot?
Yeah.
Not a fan of Darby.
A couple bad games late. Like he didn't have a good Super Bowl. He was getting he got torched really badly in that Christmas game against the Raiders. There were a couple games. He showed some signs of consistency though, so I don't think I'd give up on him. But right now, yeah, I'd have Darby, Jones, and Mills playing nickel as of now. So, and then of course you got to have depth at cornerback. 2016 couldn't have stressed this enough. Eagles did not have much depth at all in the cornerback position, and you saw how we suffered because of it. What did we do? We went out and got depth in the quarterback position. And while I'm talking right now, Ottawa just scored.
It's 2-1.
Yeah, it's 2-1. So,
what do you guys do at 32? Do you take the best player available, or do you have a
defensive tackle, baby?
I want a linebacker because Kendricks is Kendricks. Jordan Hicks, I love Jordan Hicks.
Kendricks might not even be here. Kendricks might not be here too.
Hicks can't stay healthy, and that's the issue. And I know Bradham's going to be a free agent, and there's no guarantee he's back or not. I mean, right now it seems like linebackers looks like the way to go at a 32nd overall. I like that kid from Alabama.
I like the guy from Clemson.
Really?
The guy from Clemson. Yeah, I like the guy from Clemson a lot.
I'm just getting used to draft picks. Usually I'm well into it at this time of the year, but because I just won the Super Bowl, I am just starting to get into it.
Yeah, I got to catch up too. I only know like the top maybe like 15 or 20 players. That's about it.
3 days after I made a joke.
The top 10. I got a good mock draft, the 10th overall, though.
And we're used to picking like 10 to 20, so it's kind of weird. Like we got to see what else is available too, like past like the top 20 players,
Yeah.
No, it's funny because 3 days after we won the Super Bowl, I made a joke. I was like, no, but seriously, who are we drafting at 32? Gotta love it.
That's just how life is, man. Good things happen, bad things happen. Like you move on, you're on to the next thing. Especially today, like fucking like social media and shit. Like people are always about like, all right, what's next?
Yeah, I mean, social media is what it is. It causes a lot of problems, but whatever.
Twitter fights, right?
Oh yeah, ton of Twitter fights.
Political shit.
Yep. They won't say it to your face though.
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors. No, it's like last night I was in a Twitter battle with this one guy because he said what was the plan for tonight, and he's like an 18-year-old, and I was like, "Your plan is game night keys." And he fucking got triggered.
Why'd you block him, yo? That's my boy.
Dude, he's annoying.
What?
It's annoying.
Oh yeah.
And plus, like, I don't know, it's just fucking annoys me. Whatever. But
once we suck.
So Rob, you gonna watch the Sixers game tonight?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, it starts up.
Guys today, but well, shit happens. Plus, this time of year.
Yeah, it's at 5:00 today. It's a weird start time. But yeah.
Maybe next week.
All right, so we're gonna run this podcast for about 10 more minutes because Scotty and I do have to get out of here and head to Wells Fargo. But yeah, this has been fun. Thank you, Rob, for joining us, and it's been a great podcast.
We'll have to have you on again, Rob, right?
What's up?
So we'll have to have you on again, right? Our special guest this week.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yep.
Next time, hopefully I can be in studio, but I couldn't be in studio today, so.
We're in here every single Saturday.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, every Saturday, around 12 to 1, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this time I won't be as fucking hungover.
Nova playing, right? About to tip off in a little bit.
Who are they playing?
Creighton.
Bubble
team.
Nah, Villanova's gonna win.
Yeah, and then Seton Hall, the game after, I think it's on Wednesday. They're a bubble team too. They need to win.
Seton Hall's good.
Yeah, they're trying to get in, and that's on the road. I mean, Villanova. The next two games they'll beat Georgetown at home, no doubt about it. But Seton, as far as Seton Hall goes and Creighton, you never know because they're on the roads and they're on the road and against two desperate teams.
Yep, 100%.
Someone in the chat just said Eagles should sign EDP. Honestly, I agree with that. Let EDP be the new Swoop. Be
the new Swoop.
Honestly, we need after Super Bowl win, we need a new mascot. We need a new start something new, a new tradition.
Yeah. What were you on with the old tradition?
Out there to start doing the mascot for Eagles games. That works.
Who, Babbitt?
The Philly Fanatic. Go Babbitt.
Oh, I thought you said Babbitt.
I think EDP would be about that. Holy shit, that'd be funny as hell.
Oh God.
What's the moves for Babbitt?
I said game night at Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh God.
He got pissed.
Don't sell beer there.
No.
Let's see if he's watching right now.
Huh?
Let's see if Babbitt's watching right now.
Yeah, he's probably watching. At one point or the other, he was watching.
Always drinking with his friends.
I like Babbitt. He's just,
Those parties look lit, though.
Those high school parties? No, he's in college now, right?
Yeah, he's in college.
Look lit.
It's about time he's in college. He started YouTube when he was like fucking 12 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Anything else for today? Oh, shit.
Here, I got his number. I'll ask if he's watching.
EDP as a mascot would be hilarious when the other team scores.
He'd hold up a sign saying, "Fuck you guys, wake up."
Yeah, you should apply for that shit. He's got a good resume on YouTube, so just a couple strikes here and there.
The only thing is, I don't know how his channel is going to go now because he was based so high off of negativity.
He'll still be negative.
Well, yeah, but you can't be as negative. Like, there's you know it's fake at this point because it's like we won the Super Bowl. What's there really to be negative about? Like, I don't know what he's going to do to change it around, but I wish him luck. I really do.
Yeah. He'll think of something maybe.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's like, what is he going to do now? Like, if Nick Foles gets traded, flip out about him being traded? Like, I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Here's a good question we didn't really cover. Thoughts on Alshon Jeffrey's torn rotator cuff? He played the whole season with that.
Fucking legend.
Insane.
Yeah. Legend. Love Alshon Jeffrey. Love
so
him.
Glad that we signed him. We signed him to that, a pretty decent deal for 5 years?
Yeah, I think I said before the season I thought he was a top 7 wide receiver. I think now he's a top 5. Like, I really think so. Like, the guy on a healthy rotator cuff, I think can outperform a lot of the top premier echelon wide receivers. I really do.
And the way he played in the Super Bowl, I mean, can't argue with that.
That first catch. He jumped up like 8 feet in the air.
He had his best game ever. Best season ever, probably. I know he had like a good year in like 2013, something like that, but he did it when it mattered, just like everybody on our team, all Super Bowl champions. Every player is more valuable now, you know?
Yep, yes, sir. All right, so we're going to get out of here. It's been a great show. I had fun. Scotty, thanks for being on again. Rob, wherever the fuck you are, thanks for being on. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day, guys, and go Birds.
Awesome show, man. We'll see you guys next Saturday. See you next week. And here's Rob. Rob's closing out.
Rob, anything you want to say before we go?
Go Birds. Philly sports is back. Flyers, Sixers are all Stanley Cup and NBA championship contenders. Birds just won the Super Bowl. We're on top of the fucking world right now. Villanova's the national championship contender. They won the national title 2 years ago, and the Phillies are in the last stages last couple of years of their rebuild. They will be back soon too.
What a time to fucking be alive, man.
I'm gonna translate what Rob just said. Fuck you and your mother. That's exactly what he just said. Philly sports is back, baby. I'm out. Bye.